Hello everyone, my name is Joelle and today we have a yoga practice for fibromyalgia and chronic pain. So as some of you might already know, I myself have fibromyalgia. I've been living with it for over 20 years now, and today's going to be kind of a collection of some of my favorite stretches and movements that I tend to turn to whenever I just need to feel a little bit better in my own body. So I would recommend having one or maybe several pillows with you for today. I'm already sitting up on mine just to give a little bit more lift and support. And we're going to start by coming to turtle pose. So maybe sitting up on your pillow, and turtle pose is very similar to butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees out wide, except that we bring a little bit more distance between the feet and the hips. So creating kind of a deep diamond shape here. And you're welcome to sit up tall if that feels nice, finding length in the spine. Or you could start to very slowly walk yourself forwards any amount at all. You could prop your way up on fingertips and maybe even press those fingertips into the mat. Just bringing a little bit of sensation to the extremities. You might find that after a few deep breaths, the upper body sinks a little bit lower. Maybe releasing the head forwards. You might even have the space to weave your forearms underneath the legs if you would like. But it's not necessary. Remember that as with fibromyalgia itself, yoga is also a very individual experience for each of us. So thank yourself already for turning up today, doing something for your own well-being. Your body and mind will thank you for it. You're always welcome to back up a little bit if something feels too intense. Or you can simply direct the breath to wherever you need it most. Let's take 3 more deep breaths in this turtle pose all together. Really nice. And then press the hands against the mat so that you can again very slowly return from where you came, straightening up through the spine. And then you can bring the hands behind you, plant the feet roughly the width of your yoga mat, lift the heart, and begin to slowly rock your knees left to right, keeping the heart space facing forwards and sinking the shoulder blades back behind you. So many of my favorite moves whenever I'm having a flare-up or just a little bit of a down day involve creating openness. So opening through the heart as we are now, through the rib cage, through the inner leg. Really feeding the body, nourishing it with those deep waves of breath. And then bring your knees back to center. We'll lift ourselves up off of the pillow and move it a little bit further back behind you so that when you lie down onto your back, the pillow is kind of roughly underneath your heart, underneath the rib cage. If that feels too intense, you're always welcome to simply remove it and lay your spine flat against the mat. And all together, let's extend through the left leg, finding a little bit of space here. Then bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. So you can let your right knee fall open. You're always welcome to place a second pillow underneath that knee. And it's up to you where you place the arms. You might like to reach them overhead for a little bit more opening in the shoulders. Or you can leave them alongside the body. Or another nice option that I like is to bring my hands to the rib cage. Just rest them there so that you can feel the inhales really expanding that space. And the exhales letting everything go. Two more breaths right here. And at the end of that exhale, you can bring the right foot back flat onto the mat. Keep the left leg long. And then pull that right knee gently in towards your chest. You're welcome to simply hold still here. It might feel nice to rock that knee a little bit left and right, moving the leg within the hip socket. You can take some little circles. Again, just making it your own. And then bring that knee back to center and take some little circles in one direction with the ankle. Drawing a big circle with those toes. And then reversing the direction of that circle. When you finish that circle up, just shift your hands so that you're holding behind the knee rather than in the front of the shin. We'll take some circles with the entire lower leg here. So moving this time from the knee, keeping the upper leg as still as possible. There's no real right or wrong way to do this. We're just exploring movement as we switch directions. One more. Really nice. And then just give that knee just a little bit of a pull. See if it'll come 1 or 2 inches further in towards the heart. And then let that leg go. Extend it alongside the left. See if there's a different sensation. Perhaps one leg feeling a little bit longer, a little bit more open. We'll look to balance that out as you bring now the sole of the left foot in towards the inner right thigh. Letting that knee fall open with or without a support underneath it. Arms alongside the body, overhead, or maybe you like that option of placing the hands on the rib cage. Breathing in and breathing out. Final 2 breaths. Leave the right leg where it is. Shift back onto the sole of that left foot. And hold here for a moment if you'd like. And then once you're ready, the left knee will come in towards the chest, holding still or swaying a little bit from side to side. And eventually bringing that knee back to center, taking little ankle circles, one direction, just exploring that range of motion, and then switching directions. And last circle. And then shifting those hands so that they're clasped underneath the knee. And again, tracing circles with just the lower leg. So making the knee work a little bit here. Not a range of motion that we tend to explore very frequently. And then reversing, other direction. And finish out that motion. And again, let's see if we can find just that tiny bit more space. Hugging the knee in, just a little bit closer. One deep breath here. And gently releasing that leg back alongside the other. And notice whether anything may have changed thanks to your efforts. Really slowly, we'll start to roll towards our right side. We're going to prop ourselves up here on the right forearm for a side sphinx. If this feels like a little bit too much pressure on the hip, you can always place your pillow right underneath it. Otherwise, legs are stacked. Left hand can just be in front of you for balance. Think about sinking that right shoulder down, so a little bit of activity in that right forearm to press the mat away. And if you do want a little more sensation, you're also welcome to place the left hand to the back of the head, which is likely to create a little bit more openness in the left side body. So as always, your choice. Final breath here. And then release your left hand back to the mat. Press into the right hand to lift yourself up, and we'll come to a half butterfly. So with the left leg extended out at a diagonal, the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. And again, you could place the pillow underneath your seat. You could bring it under that left knee. Or it's also nice perhaps to bring it in front of the body as we fold forwards. Any amount. You can be up on fingertips, down on your forearms. You can also have a second pillow underneath the hips. This is all about what feels best to you. And I always consider fibromyalgia a very, very, very small piece of who I am. It doesn't mean that it has no impact or meaning, but it's also not in charge. It doesn't get to define what I can do. It doesn't get to define what I am capable of. And I think the simple fact that you have turned up today would indicate that the same is true for you. So well done. I'm very happy to be able to practice with you. And I hope that over time, and perhaps coming back to practices like this one, you continue to find more space, more hope, and just overall better feelings in your body. And at the close of your next exhale, bring the fingertips wherever they need to be in order to press your way back up. Take your time. Roll the shoulders back. And we'll shift over onto the left side body. So maybe taking that pillow with you, it could come underneath the left hip, or just kind of keep it nearby as we release down. Onto the left forearm, legs are stacked. Still keeping that little bit of a press down, just to sink that left shoulder. And again, your choice whether the right fingertips stay on the mat for today. Maybe they come to rest behind the head. Wherever you are, closing the eyes, coming back to the breath. Last breath here. Make it your deepest one yet. And replacing the fingertips of the right hand in front of you. Lifting your way up, we'll find that half butterfly again on the second side. So the right leg is out at a diagonal, the sole of the left foot is in close-ish to that inner thigh. A pillow might come underneath your seat, underneath the knee, maybe out somewhere in front of you. And then any amount. So maybe for today, you're just releasing the chin to the chest, maybe even supporting yourself with the hands behind you. Maybe over time, with every deep exhale, you find a little bit more room to maneuver. Every day is different, every practice is different, and every body is different. Breathing in, and breathing out as once again you bring the hands back to the mat or the floor to press your way back up to a tall seat, rolling the shoulders back to observe how you feel. We'll come to a cross-legged seat, so I'm going to sit up on my pillow again. You might like to lift yourself up on one or several as well. And take the time to kind of shift so that your sit bones are sinking into the earth and the spine is growing tall. Everything nice and balanced, including the crown of the head. And then bring your left hand onto your right knee. We'll reach the right arm up and over. So creating a lot of space here through the right side of the body. Keeping that right seat pressing down into the mat or into your pillow. One more inhale here, finding length. And then exhale, leave the left hand on the knee. Just bring that right hand behind you so that you can twist to look back over your right shoulder. So twisting from the core here, wringing out the spine. Last exhales, you perhaps twist just that tiny bit further. And then returning the upper body to center, very nicely done. We'll place right hand to left knee now. Left arm up alongside the ear and then bring it over towards the right. Anchoring yourself against that knee and finding length in the left side body. Last inhale finds just a little bit more space. And then exhale, sweeping the left arm down so that you can place that hand behind you, twisting back to look over your left shoulder. Final exhale, find that extra half an inch of space in your twist. And let it all go, returning yourself to center. Roll the shoulders back. You might like to take a couple of neck circles here, or wrist circles. Any intuitive movement at all. And then again, return yourself to a balanced position on top of your sit bones. Crown of the head reaching tall. Blink the eyes open, and all together let's inhale the arms up to the sky. And exhale them down in front of the heart. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. I do hope that this practice has left you feeling proud of yourself, energized, and a little bit more open in your body. If you enjoyed this practice and you would like more yoga for fibromyalgia or chronic pain practices, I do actually have an entire program which you can purchase by clicking the first link in the description box below. It's a really good program. I did put a lot of work into it. It includes 7 exclusive practices, so morning practices, evening, practices that are done on a chair for those days where you need it, practices that are done entirely lying down, as well as a complete ebook of all of my favorite yoga poses for fibromyalgia. So again, you can find that by clicking the first link in the description box below this video, and I do hope to see you again on the mat very soon.